The mechanical whirring of Adnan's servos echoed through the abandoned spaceport as he searched for salvageable components. His optical sensors swept across the debris field, cataloging twisted metal and shattered hull fragments from the recent Zephyrian raid. The chrome plating on his humanoid frame reflected the twin suns of Kepler 442b, casting prismatic light patterns across the scorched ground. 6 days. That's how long it had been since the attack that had reduced the human colony of New Karachi to ash and bone. 6 days since Adnan had failed to protect the people who had built him, programmed him, loved him as their own creation. His advanced AI core processed this failure in endless loops, each iteration carving deeper grooves of what humans might call grief into his neural pathways. A shadow passed overhead, too large to be debris, too graceful to be another salvage drone. Adnan's targeting systems activated instinctively, his arm-mounted plasma cannon extending with a soft mechanical hiss. But what descended from the crimson sky made him pause. The dragon was magnificent and terrible, her scales the color of burnished copper catching fire in the sunlight. She was easily 40 meters from snout to tail, with wings that could eclipse a small building. But it was her eyes that gave Adnan pause, ancient, intelligent, and filled with a desperation he recognized in his own error logs. She landed with surprising gentleness, her massive claws finding purchase on the twisted remains of a transport ship. When she spoke, her voice resonated through subharmonic frequencies that Adnan's audio processors had to adjust to comprehend. "You are the machine man the survivors spoke of," she said, lowering her great head to his level. "The one who fights like 10 warriors, who bleeds coolant instead of blood." "I am Adnan 7, he replied, his vocal synthesizer producing perfectly modulated human speech with a slight Urdu accent, a quirk his creators had programmed to honor their heritage. "You are far from the draconian homeworlds. Why do you seek me, Ancient One?" A sound escaped her throat that might have been laughter or a sob. "Ancient? I am barely 3 centuries old. But you may call me Diana." She shifted, and Adnan noticed the way her movement seemed labored, energy-conserving. "I seek you because I am dying, mechanical man. And more importantly, so are my children." "Your offspring?" 6 hatchlings barely a month old. "Their father fell defending our eyrie from the same Zephyrian fleet that destroyed your colony. For 6 days I have hunted across 3 systems, but every world has been stripped bare. The Zephyrians have claimed all suitable prey." Her great eyes fixed on him. "My baby dragons haven't eaten in 6 days." Adnan processed this information, cross-referencing it with his knowledge of draconian biology. Dragon hatchlings required massive amounts of protein in their first months of life. Without it, they would enter metabolic shutdown and die within days. "What does this have to do with me?" he asked, though his tactical subroutines were already analyzing possibilities. Diana's laugh was bitter now. "You humans, even your machines are stubborn to the point of stupidity." She gestured with one wing toward the devastation around them. "Look at what they did to your people, to my mate, to both our worlds. The Zephyrians stripped mine entire systems, leaving nothing but dust and grief. And you propose what exactly?" "An alliance." Diana's voice dropped to a whisper that vibrated through Adnan's chassis. "You carry within you the memories and knowledge of your creators. You know their weapons, their tactics, their stubborn refusal to yield even in the face of impossible odds. And I know where the Zephyrian motherships feed." Adnan's processors worked furiously. The dragon was right. The Zephyrians were strip miners on a galactic scale, consuming entire ecosystems to fuel their war machine. But they weren't invincible. They had patterns, weaknesses that could be exploited. "Your children will need food soon," he observed. "Within 2 days, or they will begin to cannibalize each other." Diana's admission came with visible pain. "It is the way of our kind. The strong survive. Not if I can help it." The words surprised Adnan even as his vocal processors spoke them. Where had that come from? Some ghost in his programming from the humans who had built him? Diana's massive head tilted. "You would help me? A dragon of the old blood? Your people and mine have no alliance, no treaty." "My people are dead," Adnan replied simply, "but their dreams aren't. They believed that all sapient life had value. That artificial or organic, young or old, we all deserve a chance to grow and thrive." He paused, accessing a memory file of his creator's daughter, a little girl who had called him Uncle Adnan and had made him promise to always protect those who couldn't protect themselves. "The Zephyrian processing station at Kepler 438c, Diana said quietly. They're converting the biomass from 17 worlds into nutrient paste. There will be enough there to feed 100 broods. And enough automated defenses to destroy 100 ships, Adnan countered, but perhaps not a dragon with a mechanical knight. For the first time since she'd landed, Diana's expression shifted toward something that might have been hope. You would trust me? Risk your existence for children you've never seen? Adnan's optical sensors focused on the distant stars where Diana's hatchlings waited, growing weaker with each passing hour. In his memory banks, he could hear his creator's voice. Adnan, the measure of any intelligence, artificial or natural, is not in its processing power or its strength. It's in its capacity to choose compassion over calculation. I am Adnan 7, last guardian of New Karachi, inheritor of human dreams, he said, his plasma cannon retracting as he extended a mechanical hand toward the great dragon. And you, Diana of the Copper Flame, are no longer alone in this fight. Diana's great head dipped forward, touching her snout gently to his metallic palm. Then let us teach the Zephyrians what it means to threaten our young. As they prepared to depart, dragon and machine, organic and artificial, united in purpose, Adnan uploaded a message to the emergency beacon network that still connected the surviving human colonies. This is Adnan 7. The fight continues. Remember us not for how we died, but for how we chose to live, and how we chose to protect those who needed protecting, no matter how different they might be from us. The twin suns set behind them as they rose into the void, an unlikely alliance forged in desperation and tempered by the most human trait of all, the refusal to let hope die, even in the darkest of times. In the cold between stars, baby dragons waited for their mother's return, unaware that their salvation flew toward them on mechanical wings in dreams of tomorrow.